What's up, everybody? In today's video, I'm going to be checking out Dekaron's Treasure of Crespo Hardmode rework, which happened, I think, about a week or two ago. I'd been thinking about farming the MC3 for my new Alok's character, and I was like, oh, they reworked this. Let's check it out. Let's see how it is now. So first, let's look at the changes. So first major change is they changed how much it costs to run the dungeon. Basically, you just instead of it continuously scaling up like it used to and getting more and more expensive, it is just 1.5 mil flat, which you easily make back by running the dungeon. So that's not a problem at all. I really like that. They changed the altar progression as well, just to make the dialogue more simple. And not in this patch, I think, but at least in, or maybe it was this patch. I don't know how clearly it was marked, but at some point they totally reworked the layout too and just made it a lot more simple. So let's go ahead and get into the dungeon. I was able to run through this on my wizard. Again, I was thinking about farming the MC3 for my Aloks, so I was like, okay, let's see how this dungeon is doing. First thing I noticed is the experience is quite a bit better than it used to be, at least from what I've noticed. If I'm using basically no XP boosting items, and I'm getting anywhere from 4 to 8 mil drops from mobs, and if I was running like a 500% and like some scrolls, this could be really good. Obviously there's better dungeons, but it's just seems a lot better than it used to be. Although there is a 2x experience event going on, so that's part of the reason that the experience is higher. But still, overall, it feels really good. They definitely cut down on how long this dungeon is. They cut out a lot of the parts where you're just running, and I think that is phenomenal. They took out the path progression in the middle where you have to run and activate the 3 levers. Honestly, that was one of the longer parts of the dungeon, and I think that's great. And given that to get the MC3 crafting material reward at the end, you have to complete the dungeon in a certain time. The fact that they removed that is just phenomenal. You'll see here, I didn't even use runes. If I would have used runes, I would have had a much easier time, but I was just lazy and I didn't really set up the runes. I also, my gear was not really optimized for this, so I'm hitting a little bit lower and I'm taking a little bit more damage. Ever since they changed the stats on the golden mechanic wings, I don't really have PvE wings anymore, so I have to kind of rethink my setup, but that's just how it is. I did manage to complete the dungeon with over a minute left on that timer, though. So, and I did it pretty comfortably without really trying super hard. And I got a little confused at the altar progression, so that also slowed me down a little bit. But basically now, all you have to do is you just have to run up to the altar. You interact with it. It automatically teleports you to the next room to fight those 4 little monsters. You come back, interact with the altar one more time. And then you can go break the wooden gate, activate the lever, and then you go through the steel gate, fight the optional boss, which you're always going to want to do, because if you don't, then you won't get the MC3 drop that you need at the end, or the MC3 crafting material drop that you need at the end. Kill the optional boss, murder the boss, kill the boss. The final boss. This feels the same to me. As usual, kind of the best way to do this boss is to stand in one of the corners, just because it reduces the chance of you getting hit by the fallen rocks. I still hate that rock generator setup for this dungeon. I wish there was a way to disable the rocks. It's super annoying, and it's an older game, and the mechanics are a little clunky, and it's just really easy to get hit by the rocks if you're not careful. And most people just stand in the corner anyway and just try to max out their HP and just tank it. So it's I just really wish they would consider completely reworking that. You used to be able to use like boxing gloves or something, and you could kill the rockfall generators. And killing the rockfall generators just made this dungeon 100 times easier. And again, it's not that I mind the mechanic, it's just that the mechanic is not consistent. And the fact that in this game, you get stuck in your skill animations and stuff, it's not consistent. I really don't like it. I really hope, as a suggestion, that one day they would consider removing or reworking kind of how the rockfall works, or giving an option to spend a little extra time to break the rockfall generators and then just not have to deal with that mechanic. To me, it would make a lot more sense. But yeah, no, that's kind of it for this. I just made a quick video. I think they've reworked this dungeon, and it's a lot better than it used to be. I like how quick it is. And I like how they shrunk down the dungeon and just took out a lot of the needless running. You know, I don't always like it when dungeons are made smaller, but if you're removing needless running, like I have no problem with that at all. Again, given that this has a timer on it anyway, I think it's important. The only thing that caught me off guard was when I teleported back from the altar, the monsters from the hallway were all there, and I almost died. I was like, oh crap, yeah, I got to think about that. I don't know how I got around that in the past, but it ended up being okay. Anyway, yeah, probably gonna be running this a bit. Try to get my MC3 on my Alox, or at least craft one, and hopefully it doesn't just have like completely garbage stats. But you know, I'll give it a go. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think of the dungeon rework. If you've been running this dungeon at all. You know, if you agree with me about the rockfall generator, or if you're angry about gold mechanic wings, I'm still mad about that. I'm sure a lot of you are. But yeah, anyway. Hope you enjoy the video. Questions, suggestions, as always, you can leave them in the comments. And until next time, guys, take care.